My stepmom hid my insulin to make me look sick, so I prescribed her with a dose of karma. I have the opposite of daddy issues. My father is such an amazing man that it tricked me into thinking every man was great. When insulin made me gain weight, he gained 20 pounds with me so I wouldn't feel alone. And when I was a child and he only had enough change in his pocket for one of us to get ice cream, he always let me have it. So when he married my stepmom, I thought she would be equally as amazing. Boy, was I wrong. When she moved in, she gave me a huge hug and even got me a new iPad. And as soon as she discovered I had type 1 diabetes, her eyes lit up with the same predatory gleam I later learned meant trouble. It started small. She began adding regular sodas to my diet drink bottles, just enough to cause unexplained spikes that made me look careless at doctor appointments. At my sweet 16 party, she hid my insulin pen right before cake time. I had to excuse myself, searching desperately while she told guests I was probably having a teenage mood swing. She found it in my room later, suggesting to dad that I was becoming forgetful with my medication. I so badly wanted to tell my dad what was going on, but he had been so happy to find someone after mom died, I couldn't bear to ruin it. I kept telling myself that it was just our adjustment period and things would get better soon, but when my college interview trip came around, I couldn't even lie to myself anymore. It was a calculated attack. Dad couldn't come, so she volunteered to drive me. I couldn't say no without exposing the truth, so I agreed and hoped for the best. Halfway there, she pulled over for gas and I went to test my blood sugar. My meter was gone. My backup was gone. My juice boxes were gone. She drove to a pharmacy to help, but took wrong turns for an hour. I missed my interview while in the hospital with dangerously low blood sugar. She told dad I'd forgotten to pack my supplies because I was too stressed. After the ER doctor mentioned this was the third accident in 2 months, I couldn't take it anymore. So when my dad asked if everything was okay, I finally told the truth. Dad, I'm sorry, but Hannah's been hiding my insulin. She's trying to make me sick on purpose, and Hannah would never do that, he interrupted. She's a registered nurse. I think you're overwhelmed with senior year. Hannah stood behind him, filing her nails with a satisfied smile. But I went to bed that night with one thought. She taught me exactly how to make someone look unstable. Time to put the knowledge to good use. I spent weeks studying her routines, pretending like I was warming up to her. That's when I found out she was on anxiety medication. Gotcha. From there, I learned she had job interviews lined up at prestigious hospitals. I practiced my concerned stepdaughter face in the mirror. Phase 1 was simple. I started switching her anxiety medication with sugar pills, but only on specific days. Her first interview at the private clinic, she was sweating and shaking so badly they ended it early. I was there to pick her up, offering comfort while she blamed interview nerves. 2 weeks later, I planted empty wine bottles in her car, timing it with dad finding them. She swore she didn't drink, accusing me of setting her up. Dad found it concerning how paranoid she was becoming. For her interview at the children's hospital, her dream job, I replaced all her professional clothes with identical ones 2 sizes smaller the night before. Her meltdown that morning was more beautiful than a sunset by the beach, but unfortunately, it was a waste because dad had already left for work. My final move came at dad's company gala. Hannah had spent weeks preparing. New dress, professional makeup, practicing her doctor's wife persona. I brought her a special calming tea before we left, made with 4 bags of caffeine tea. Halfway through dinner, her hands were shaking so badly she knocked over her wine. She tried to excuse herself, but her anxiety made her grab the tablecloth. As plates crashed down, she threw a metal fork at my head. You know what you're doing, you effing beach. You're trying to make me look crazy, just like She stopped, realizing what she'd almost said, but dad had heard enough. Just like you what, Hannah? She grabbed my arm hard enough to bruise, screaming that I was a manipulative little diabetic psycho who'd been playing victim since day one. The entire ballroom was staring. Security moved to intervene, and I fell dramatically to the floor, forcing tears out of my eyes. As dad rushed to help me, I looked directly at Hannah and smiled. That's when I made my ballsiest move yet. Full story on channel, link below.